So in this video, I'm going to continue discussing part 2 of the film. We're going to cover the circumstances of Cowboy's death by the sniper and the big reveal of the sniper as well. So we'll get to that point, sort of the end of the film. And we'll look specifically at the confrontation between the sniper and Joker. So how does that scene play out? So hopefully we get to that point as well. So that's this video lecture. So when we left off our discussion, we were talking about Cowboy's leadership and how he struggles in that role of taking sort of control of the situation. And he, in fact, loses control, and it sort of shifts to the sniper as being in charge or in control of the situation. And the sniper is sort of leading each man to sort of give themselves up. So the sniper is kind of sucking them in one by one, getting them to put themselves in a vulnerable position, and then the sniper is going to take them out one by one and eliminate this entire platoon. Cowboy wants to retreat and leave the scene, but there's a lot of sort of dissent and disagreement amongst the men in how to, in their sort of reactions. Now that 8-Ball has been shot and wounded, and then another man has been shot and wounded. And Animal Mother, in contrast with Cowboy, does not want to leave the men wounded but not killed on the field. So his sense of, being a Marine means, brotherhood first, right? You don't allow your fellow soldiers to go down. You at least, try to attempt to help them. So this is where, Animal Mother kind of almost shines. His value or his admirable qualities as a Marine, as a soldier, make him a kind of natural leader in this environment. Even though, we've seen how, despicable and horrible a person he is. As a civilian, he really lacks sensitivity and compassion, but as a Marine, he really kind of excels in the brutality and the kind of courage, I guess you could call it. They're just willingness to put your life on the line in these sort of life or death circumstances and really take control of a situation. So unlike Cowboy, who reads the situation wrong and gets them lost, Animal Mother takes the lead. Mutinies sort of against Cowboy's issue to retreat, or his command to retreat and leave the men. Animal Mother goes over the wall and discovers that it's actually just one sniper who is taking them down one by one. Cowboy had thought it was a whole ambush planned, but Animal Mother sort of read the scene correctly and identified, with the help of the wounded men, that there was just one sniper. So he kind of takes the leadership position over Cowboy, and he kind of excels in that risk taker role, where he's sort of reading the scene in the correct way. And as this turns out, Cowboy follows Animal Mother's lead through the field, and then there is the kind of dramatic scene where the sniper, who is so skilled and adept at their killing, is able to pinpoint their guns on Cowboy through the hole in this building, and the sniper takes out Cowboy. So he is the third member of the platoon to die, and his final words after being shot, so as Joker kind of holds him in his arms, saying goodbye, giving him comfort, Cowboy's last words are, "I can hack it." So even in death, he sort of maintains a kind of, masculine kind of bravado You know, he never wants to give up. It's what's been ingrained in his mind throughout his training, his basic training, and he doesn't want to, you know, admit defeat or even death is sort of something he faces with this, you know, courage and bravery and this almost blind sense that, you know, he can overcome any obstacle. But it's, you know, it's a little heart-wrenching scene as well when you have Joker sort of comforting his friend. So it's a death that means a lot to him, you know, assuming that these two guys have grown up together. And it sparks the sort of vengeful feeling. So they want revenge against this sniper who has killed 3 of their platoon. So they are vowing to get revenge on the sniper for killing their fellow brothers. The brotherhood has been sort of undermined and broken apart as well. We saw it sort of already shattering in the struggle for who should be the leader, and the kind of breakdown of order in that moment when there is a mutiny. So even that earlier scene it sort of shows how the sniper has disrupted and caused chaos amid this sort of social order, and that'll be reiterated when it's revealed the true identity of the sniper. So when it's finally revealed the sniper's position, it's Joker who discovers the location of the sniper. They've entered this building, and Animal Mother and Rafter Man have gone one way, and Joker enters this room on his own. And it's revealed that the sniper is a young 15-year-old Vietnamese girl. So this is, you know, somewhat of a shock, surprise, especially, you know, the gender of the soldier, the sniper, as female. You know, it's something significant in relation to this, you know, the gender dynamics of the film. So it's sort of a surprise to Joker as well. And he actually fumbles with his weapon. We'll talk about that in a second. But the identity of the sniper as a woman, as female, does sort of present a somewhat challenge or undermining of all that kind of patriarchal, macho masculinity that we've seen in all of the previous scenes. When you discover that the sniper who has taken the lives of 3 of the men, who has sort of weakened and sort of caused sort of such disruption in this brotherhood, is none other than a young girl, Vietnamese girl. So it does sort of, you know, Kubrick is doing something here with the gender of his sniper and characterizing the sniper as making that character a female. So it is, you know, a shocking revelation in the sense that, you know, it's unexpected. It's kind of like this ironic twist that after all of the macho posturing, the kind of bravado, the talking and bragging about how, you know, American Marines are the greatest, how tough they are, how they're killers, the killing machine, and just all that kind of very sort of macho, you know, language and bragging of the first couple of scenes, or first many scenes of the film, and the exploitation of the Vietnamese women that we've seen in 2 scenes where there was a female Vietnamese prostitute, and the men were, you know, degrading, ridiculing her, and negotiating her worth, lower and lower prices. So the sort of degradation of Vietnamese women is reversed in this scene, even if it's just temporarily, and it's exposed how the sniper has sort of bested these men challenged that masculinity, that military macho-ness, and really sort of confronted them with some disruption or breakdown of their that patriarchal masculinity that they've been taught to believe in. So her role is really to sort of upset that order, cause chaos, and point out, identify, this is one of the ramifications, the consequences of degrading and exploiting the Vietnamese women. Perhaps this is what one of the consequences of that exploitation, that a young woman like this sniper would enter the war and become a killer herself. So it's really an interesting twist on the kind of gender equation that we've been, or gender relations that we've been talking about throughout the film. So we have a female character, a killer who is female, who is, an excellent soldier herself, and it's a kind of a moment of shock and revelation. And it also kind of makes sense in the fact that, young women in Vietnam were, exploited, degraded, their families and friends murdered. So it's not just the men who are participating as soldiers in this country, but it's also women who are, taking up weapons and fighting for their rights as Viet Cong soldiers. So it's an interesting twist and dynamic of that scene. And just to sort of reinforce that sort of challenge or undermining of military patriarchy, you have this scene where Joker, who has, talk the talk, isn't in that moment able to, walk the walk, so to speak, right? So he kind of built himself up as this John Wayne, or at least, John Wayne was something that he sort of used to mock that kind of macho-ness. But he sort of also viewed himself as part of that Marine kind of role, as a kind of macho soldier who is in control of a situation, who mastered his rifle, and is born to kill, as it says on his helmet. So when he's finally faced with this one-on-one confrontation with the enemy, and the enemy is this female Viet Cong soldier, his whole kind of sense of bravado, his identity as a Marine is sort of falls apart. So there are sort of suggestions that it's his sort of breakdown of that masculinity is evident in his reaction to the VC soldier. So he fumbles with his rifle. And this actually reminds me of the scene from The Wars by Timothy Finley, where Robert Ross fails or struggles to shoot the horse, and his weapon won't go off, or he's not in control of his weapon. So it's a very kind of emasculating scene, right, where you have a man, a military man, a soldier, a Marine, who fails to use his weapon properly, and there's a little bit of a sexual symbolism in that as well, where the rifle is almost like a phallic symbol, but in each case it's sort of the soldier fails to properly master his weapon, and he kind of fumbles, and it's very kind of emasculating. So it's a moment when his masculine identity, that macho posturing, kind of falls apart, falls flat, and fails. And you can see in the screen grab here, like the picture. See from the picture that that's just on the side here. It's a very kind of feminized, stereotypically feminine pose that Joker ends up doing when his rifle jams and he lets the little